Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a light from Thrunite. This is the Archer Pro. Now, I've been working with Thrunites for many years, and I just love how innovative they continue to be. They take a lot of feedback from their customers, reviewers, YouTubers that review their products and give honest opinions on them, and they take that information to actually improve upon their lights. So much so that the Archer series actually started a few years back, and they've actually incorporated into smaller size, more EDC friendly lights, sort of like this one here, the Archer Pro. Now, they were gracious enough to send it over. I've actually reviewed the little brother to this one, which is the Archer Mini. Great EDC flashlight. It's got the right amount of outputs on it. To make it just a great light for EDC Carry. So they sent over the Archer Pro so I can go ahead and check it out, and I wanted to go ahead and showcase it to you guys, and also maybe do a quick comparison between the two, so that way you can see what the main differences are between the Archer Pro and the Archer Mini. That way, if you want to go ahead and pick one up, you'll know which one is best for you. So as always, it does come in this nice packaging here. Thrunite's packaging has changed over the years also. They used to have just plain kind of the brown corrugated cardboard boxes, and then they've moved over to this design here, which is really nice. It showcases the light in the front right here, Thrunite Archer Pro, as you see there. So we'll go ahead and open up this box, and we'll take a look at everything that is inside that comes with your flashlights. So you have a little pull tab right in the top here. Go ahead and pull that off. Didn't do a good job at that, so we'll go ahead and break into the box. So you have a little tray that comes inside of there, so we'll set the box off to the side here. And inside you do have the flashlight, and then underneath you have a couple of accessories. Yeah, that's pretty much it. First things first, you do have a charging cable here. This is a standard USB-A to USB-C because this is a rechargeable light, which is great. I think the majority of flashlight manufacturers are moving towards rechargeable lights, so I like the fact that they do include the charging cable. And then they also include the user manual here. I always mention this in all of my flashlight videos or electronic videos. I always recommend that you do kind of read through the user manual, just because, especially flashlights, there's so many different features and options and outputs and stuff like that, and you want to make sure that you become familiarized with that. So if you guys want to take a closer look, there it is. You can go ahead and pause the video and read through the outputs and whatnot. But I will set this off to the side so I can reference it as I go through the review here, or the overview, I should say. So let's go ahead and take the light out. And here it is. So again, this is the Archer Pro from Thrunite. So you do have let me get this white stuff off of it. So you do have the name of the flashlight right there, which is really nice. And this is a rather small size flashlight, perfect for EDC carry, especially if you want something that's pocket friendly. I think you can't go wrong with the Archer Pro here. So it is aluminum body, which makes it lightweight, but it also makes it pretty sturdy, which is very nice. This one obviously being in the black color, but as is custom with Thrunite and a lot of other flashlight companies, they tend to kind of roll out different colors and stuff like that. So maybe they might do some more colors on this guy here. You do have some nice texturing on the side there, which gives you some good grip. If you're using the flashlight, you can go ahead and not worry about it sliding out of your hands or anything like that. You do have a tail cap switch right here, which is pretty much what you're going to use to turn the light on, turn it off, and go through the different modes and stuff like that. You have a pocket clip here, pretty deep right, which is nice. So if you do have it clipped in your pocket, it's not going to get bumped up or anything like that. And then it is a reverse pocket clip, so you can clip it into your pocket like this. But if you wanted to clip it, let's say onto the brim of a hat to go hands-free, you can go ahead and do that as well. That way you can use it and not have to worry about it, and not have to actually hold on to it in order to kind of go through using it and whatnot. So as I mentioned, this is a rechargeable light, so if you turn the head of the light, you will actually expose the USB-C port and there it is right there. So you can go ahead and connect the charger there and charge up your flashlight. You do have an O-ring here, so as you close this back up, it will be watertight, and also dust and debris or anything like that will not get into it. So nice size flashlights. I like that the tail cap switch is a little bit recessed. There is a little bit sticking out, but for the most part it is recessed, because that way you're not going to be activating it mistakenly or anything like that. So the light does come in a lockout mode, so if I were to press the tail cap, it just kind of shines once to let me know that it's on lockout. So all you have to do is you press and hold, and then you will be able to, as you saw, it blink there. So now it is in full usage mode, so you can go ahead and start using it. So let me charge it up a little bit, and we can go ahead and kind of go through the UI so you can see some of the different outputs. Alright, so I went ahead and charged up the light a little bit, and I turned off some of these overhead lights so basically you could see a little bit better. So the one of the differences between the Archer Pro and the Archer Mini is the amount of different modes that the light does have. So obviously if you're the type of person that would prefer a flashlight with a lot of different modes, then the Archer Pro would probably be a better option for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those. So as you saw already, I went ahead and took it off of lockout, so it is ready to go. So if I were to press the tail cap switch here, it will turn the light on. The light will actually come on. It does have a memory, so it will come on in the last mode that you left it, with the exception of Firefly, Turbo, or Strobe. So you know, it does have those other three modes, but as far as the memory goes, it is just going to come on in the last mode that you left it on. So that's a single press. If I press it again, it will turn the light off. So if I go ahead and press the light on, and I press and hold the tail cap switch, it'll actually flash, and it'll ramp up or down depending on where you are. And when it gets to the last, as high as it will go, it'll actually blink again, as you saw there. So it's called infinity high and infinity low. So basically the highest level of infinity high will be 478 lumens, and that is good for about 1 minute. And then it'll actually start ramping down all the way to 208 lumens, and that'll be good for 150 minutes. So that is if you have it in the highest output. And again, it's called infinity high or infinity low because you can press and hold and stop the light from ramping up or ramping down somewhere in the middle there. So as you guys saw, I just kind of stopped it in the middle there. But if you were to have it ramp all the way down, the infinity low is actually 13 lumen output, and that is actually good for 37 hours, which is really, really awesome. So again, that is if you press the tail cap switch once to turn it on, and then if you press it again to turn it off. And once it is on, you can go ahead and press and hold, and it'll ramp up or ramp down in those infinity highs or infinity lows. Now, if you want to go ahead and access the turbo, you can go ahead and press the light on, and you double click, and it'll take you up to turbo. Turbo is 1022 lumens. That is actually good for 1.5 minutes. And then after that, it will ramp down to 191 lumens, which is good for 145 minutes. So again, let me turn this off so it doesn't wash out the camera too much. But again, turbo for 1.5 minutes at over 1,000 lumens out of a flashlight this small is a great, great feat. This is definitely you know, a good example of what Thrunite is doing with their flashlights and the technology. Over 1,000 lumens in a flashlight this small is awesome. So again, if you're the type of person that wants, you know, to sometimes have that high output, then the Archer Pro is definitely great for you. Now, from the off position, if you wanted to go ahead and access the Firefly mode, you can press and hold the tail cap switch, and Firefly will turn on. As you can see, it is barely visible here in my palm. Firefly is actually 0.41 lumens, which is an interesting output there, but that is actually good for 15 days. So you have tons of light, tons of life on the light here. Obviously not tons of light. As you can see, I'm shining it right at the camera, and it's not really washing out the camera or anything like that. So it's good to have that feature as well. So if you press it, and it'll turn it right back off. And then last but not least, as you do have a strobe option, and that is if you turn the light on and you press the tail cap switch 3 times, now strobe warning, 1, 2, 3, and there is this strobe. And strobe is actually good. It's actually an output of 92 lumens, and it's good for 260 minutes. So again, strobe, you have the ability to use that for maybe signaling if you had to do that, or disorienting somebody if you wanted to use a less than lethal option. If somebody's trying to bother you or something like that, you can go ahead and use that option as well. So let me turn on these overhead lights again so we have a little bit more light here. So we can keep talking about the flashlight here. And again, this is the Pro version. So this is the Archer Pro. So as you saw, you have quite a few different outputs ranging from over 1,000 lumens to under 1 lumen or under even half a lumen. So the range is very, very wide. So as I mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and showcase the little brother to the Archer Pro, which is the Archer Mini here. So in all intents and purposes, they are very similar as far as in the look. The main difference is in the body itself is the Mini does not have the texturing here that the Pro has. But again, it's because this is designed so it's a very, very minimal footprint on the light itself. But you still do have the rechargeable capabilities with the USB-C port built into it. You do have the reversible clip, and then you do have the tail cap switch as well, which is the similarities with the Archer Pro. Now, the main differences are on the amount of modes that the Archer Mini has, and also obviously in the amount of output. Now, the great thing about the Archer Mini is that it is very plain and simple. So if you don't want a bunch of modes, then the Archer Mini is where you would want to go. What I mean by that is you do have a high option. So if you press the tail cap switch once, it'll come on. It'll actually come on in the low mode, and low is 18 lumens for 7.5 hours. So if you press it again, it will turn off. Now, if you want to go to high, you go ahead and press it twice, and high is actually 405 lumens, which is good for a little or about 2.8 minutes, so almost 3 minutes. And then it starts ramping down, and it ramps to 157 lumens, which is good for 52 minutes. So again, over 400 lumens is great for a majority of EDC tasks, again, especially coming out of a flashlight this size. So very, very small. And then if you press it again, it will turn off. And then the last mode is you do have a strobe mode on the Archer Mini. So again, if you turn it on and press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, gonna get that 1, 2, 3, and you get your strobe. And strobe is actually 355 lumens, good for 110 minutes. So again, if you wanted to use that feature or that mode to signal somebody, you can go ahead and do that. So I think what Thrunite did is they actually saw what the majority of modes that most people use on a flashlight, and I can attest to that because that's pretty much what I use, is the high output. Maybe sometimes I don't need that much light, so I want to use low. And then maybe sometimes I want to have something to attract attention or maybe defend myself, and that is the strobe, and then added it to a very, very small package. So as you can see here in my hands, one next to the other, you can see how much thinner the Archer Mini is compared to the Archer Pro, even though the Pro is not that thick of a flashlight, but as far as the footprint is very, very small. So this would be a great, what I consider a kit light. I mean, I would use it as an EDC flashlight all day, you know, clip this onto my pocket, but it works great to have it in a kit, in a little bag or something like that. A lot of people are doing that now. They're doing like a small EDC kits and stuff like that. This is a perfect light for that. And then the Archer Pro, I think where it does shine is just as an EDC light. Just if you want something small, something easy to carry, but you have a bunch of output, high output, a bunch of lumens, a bunch of different features and stuff like that, then that's where the Archer Pro definitely is going to shine. So if you guys are interested in my review of the Archer Mini, I'll go ahead and link that above and maybe put it in the description below. You can go ahead and check that out. I'll also leave links to where you can purchase either one of these lights or both of them. I think they both have you know, different areas where you can go ahead and fit them into your EDC. So I would not be remiss in picking up either one of them or both of them because they're both great lights and they both fit a particular area inside of your EDC. So there it is. That is a look at the Thrunite Archer Pro and then a comparison with its little brother, the Archer Mini. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.